You ever looked at your pet and thought, honestly, you get me more than people do? Not because you hate humans, not because you're weird, but because with animals, your nervous system finally unclenches. If you prefer animals over humans, it's not random, it's psychology. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Let's decode it. 1. You don't trust easily, but you love deeply. Some people connect fast. You connect safely. Because you've learned something the hard way. Humans can be unpredictable. They say one thing, mean another. They smile, then judge. They promise, then disappear. Animals don't do that. A dog doesn't hint. A cat doesn't pretend. A bird doesn't fake being happy to avoid conflict. What you see is what you get. Psychology calls this sensitivity to inconsistency. When someone has been exposed to mixed signals, hot and cold affection, unpredictable reactions, emotional whiplash, they start scanning for reliability. And animals feel reliable. Not perfect, just honest. So when you choose animals, you're not choosing less. You're choosing a type of connection that doesn't require armor. 2. Your brain is exhausted by social performance. Here's something people don't say out loud. Human interaction often feels like acting. You have to time your responses, read the room, laugh at the right moment, reply fast enough to seem interested but not too fast to seem desperate. And if you're even slightly self-aware, you're also watching yourself while you do it. That's cognitive load. And if you're introverted, anxious, or highly observant, that load doubles. Because you don't just talk, you process. Animals don't demand performance. You can sit in silence and still feel connected. You can be messy, quiet, tired, sad, and they don't punish you for it. This is why so many emotionally intelligent people love animals, not because they can't handle humans, but because they can't stand fake. With animals, your social mask finally gets to come off. 3. You've got a strong empathy system and it gets overwhelmed. People think animal lovers are soft, but the truth is, many of them are intense. They notice tiny shifts, a change in tone, a micro-expression, a forced laugh. And that kind of empathy is a gift until it becomes a burden. Because when you feel too much, humans start to feel loud. Too many emotions, too many agendas, too many hidden meanings. Animals are simpler, but not shallow. They communicate with energy, rhythm, routine. They don't weaponize feelings. They don't guilt you with subtext. Psychology links this to emotional contagion, when you absorb other people's moods like a sponge. If you're that type, being around humans can feel like walking into a room full of invisible smoke. Animals feel like fresh air. You can still care, without drowning. 4. You've got a safe attachment system, and animals deliver it fast. Let's talk attachment theory, because this is big. Some people grew up with love that was conditional. You got attention when you achieved something. You got warmth when you behaved perfectly. You got closeness, but it could vanish overnight. So your brain learned, connection equals risk. Now, in adult life, when someone gets close, part of you wants it, and part of you braces for impact. Animals bypass that whole battlefield. Because animals attach through presence, not status, not social value, not what do you do, not what can you give me. They love your routine, your smell, your voice, your you. And for a brain that's been trained to expect abandonment, that kind of steady connection feels almost unreal. That's why some people feel more emotional talking to their pet than talking to a friend. It's not childish. It's a nervous system finding a safer bond. 5. You've been disappointed by people, and animals restored your faith in connection. There's a quiet grief that some people carry. Not dramatic, not obvious, but real. It's the grief of realizing people can be careless with hearts. Maybe you were the loyal one, the listener, the one who showed up, and you watched others treat relationships like they're disposable. So you adjusted. Not by becoming cold, but by becoming selective. Animals don't use you. They don't compete with you. They don't play social chess. And if you've been through betrayal, bullying, rejection, or just repeated social letdowns, Animals feel like emotional truth. They remind you that connection can be simple again, that love can be non-strategic, that affection doesn't always come with a hidden bill. And that's why some people would rather spend a night with their cat than at a party with 20 strangers, because one feels real, the other feels like noise. Now here's the twist. Preferring animals over humans doesn't automatically mean you're broken, and it doesn't automatically mean you're healed either. Sometimes it's a healthy boundaries. Sometimes it's a coping strategy. Sometimes it's both. The real question is, do you choose animals because you love them or because humans feel unsafe? Because if it's the second one, you don't need to force yourself to be social. You need to rebuild trust slowly, with the right people. People who are consistent. People who don't make you pay for being sensitive. But if it's the first one, if you simply feel alive around animals, then you're probably wired for a purer kind of connection, a quieter kind, one based on presence, not performance. And honestly, that's rare. So if you're someone who prefers animals over humans, you might not be antisocial. You might just be emotionally honest. If this video hit a little too close, tell me in the comments, are you an animals over humans person and why? And if you want more psychology that actually explains people without shaming them, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.